Will be 100 years old Thanksgiving Day. I was born on Thanksgiving Day in 1918, and my twin sister came right along after me. And my mother's name was Nellie Kay, and my dad was Denny David.
What did your papa do for a living?
He was a sharecropper.
And what was that?
The big shots, and the only people that had money had big farms, and then they would hire somebody to take care of the farm, and Papa was one of them. Oh yeah, we helped on the farm all the time. All the kids, all of us kids. Yeah.
And what kind of crops did they grow?
Cotton and corn and potatoes and all that kind of stuff. Peanuts. Yeah. We used to pick cotton, and me and Irene were the babies of the family. We were little, but they'd take us to the field with them. And our cotton that one year had worms. They called them army worms. And those army worms would eat off one crop of cotton leaves and everything and crawl across the road. You could even see them going across the road, that highway, to the other side. And they got really, really bad. And Irene was scared to death of them. I wasn't afraid of them because I knew they wouldn't bite us or anything. And Irene was afraid she wouldn't touch them. And my dad had a big long pick sack, and he stuck us in the pick sack till we got through the army cotton, and then he'd let us out. We were happy then. But my dad was a woodcutter too. He would cut cordwood and for all the neighbors really, and we'd stack it up. He'd stack it up in like this. I don't know how they would do it, but anyway, it was stacked, and it made a little pin in it. And the Emmett and Wormy would put me and Irene in there, put us in, and then keep stacking it up. And we were afraid to move. We was afraid it would fall in on us. So we had. We didn't have horses, but we had mules. They wanted work mules. Those were. But we had animals. We had. Chickens. Oh yeah, we had chickens. We had chickens. That was a fun job too for me and Irene. We wanted fried chicken or anything. We just go out to a chicken house and grab one, and if we didn't, we'd catch one off the yard and go take it out to the chop block and chop its head off with the axe.
You did?
Yes. Oh my goodness, we did that a lot of times.
When you were little?
Yeah, but Emmett would have to catch them for us. Emmett. He'd say, "I'll catch them if you kill them." We'd take a little hatchet. It was a hatchet, not an axe, but we'd take it and lay it down on there and just go whack, one lick, and that was it. We gathered eggs. Yeah, we had our own little basket that we gathered eggs with, and when we get like 2 or 3 eggs, we could turn them in at the store and get whatever we wanted with them. It was instead of money. So anyway, we'd sit there and wait we could hear the hen cackle, and we knew we had an egg coming somewhere there. So we'd run out to the chicken house, and there would be our eggs. Into some mischief one time that really got us in trouble. That was the time we got the cookies. These sugar wafers had just come out. It was something new, and we got a taste of them, and boy, we went crazy. All of us kids did. And me and Irene, we were little too. We were about 6 or 7 years old, but the store was right across the railroad tracks from us. So me and Irene, one day, we just thought it'd be smart if we just went over to the store and got some of those cookies. And we went over there, big shot little girls we were, and then we told Mr. Moon, that was the manager of the store, he said, we told him we wanted some cookies, a bag of cookies, the sugar wafers, and he got them, filled a bag full for us, and we got out of the store tickled to death, and we got down to the railroad, and we sat down on a cross tie, by the railroad track, and we ate every stinking one of them. And we never did tell my dad, mom about it. And one day, when my dad went into the store again, the guy told Papa, said, Mr. Dean, he said, I'll tell you something. The twins came in here and bought some cookies the other day, and they wanted me to charge it to the store manager across the street, and he did. He charged it to him, and I mean, we didn't know what was going on. And Papa came home and he said, he called us babies. He said, babies, what'd you do with those cookies you got the other day? We said, what cookies? We didn't know what he was talking about. Then we had to own up to it and told him we did buy the cookies, and ate them all. Ate them all sitting on the railroad track. It was funny. It wasn't so funny then when my dad told Emmett to go out and get a switch for him. He went out and he took a little brush off the bush out there to spank us with, and brought it back. He got the biggest one he could find. He wanted to see if Papa would whip us, and Papa never would whip us. So he spanked our legs a little bit with it, and Emmy said he wasn't worth going out in there and get if you're not going to whip them. But it taught us a lesson. We never did do it again. Oh, we played games that kids never heard of now. They'd laugh at us if they could see us playing ball instead of baseball. They called it Ante Over. I don't know why it was named that. We used to get together as kids, and all of us, and we'd go down in the pasture. There was a whole bunch of little trees that would bend over. They were limber, and we'd all get one and ride them. We'd pull them down and ride them. Sometimes we'd go all the way up and fall back down on the ground. But it was fun. We did. It was a lot of fun for us kids.
And when you were 10 years old, your mama passed away.
Yeah, we were not quite 10 years old. We were still 9 years old when she died. Yeah, we just kind of got scattered around. We knew almost everybody around us, and everybody wanted to keep us. They were tickled to death to get to have some of us at their house. I don't know if it was just for the fun of the thing or to work, but I did. I worked though when I stayed at Walker's. I went there when I was just a little past 12 years old, and I was there till I was 21. And believe me, I did work there that lots of kids would never have done. You know, I'd get up and I would go to the store. No, I would fix breakfast first, and then I would go to the store and let my foster father go to the barn and do the work for their animals and all. And then when he'd come back, he would eat his breakfast and go back to the store. And then I would go to the house, and I'd have to go to the barn, milk 2 cows, and get back to the house and clean myself up to go to school. And anyway, I was busy the whole time. The school I went to, there's a picture right up there on the wall. That's the way it looked when I went to school there. But now, it's a big, beautiful school. Don't even look like the same place. It's the same looking place, but school is sure different. And a lot of times we'd send Spence, our dog, we'd put a note in a bag and tell Spence to take it to Daddy. That's the only way he would know, to Mr. Walker. We'd say, take it to Daddy. And he would not give that to anybody else but Daddy. If they tried to take it from him, he'd tear it up. But he was so smart. And Mama Walker sent him down that one time for Cokes. And he came back with the Cokes, and I think there were 6 in them. I think either 4 or 6, I've forgotten now. And he brought it right on up to the house, to the door, scratched on the door, and then there was our Cokes ready for us. So I belonged to the 4-H club. I was a 4-H club member. Well, we learned to do a lot of things, like sewing and working in gardens, and we just did a lot of things in that. And it was fun being 4-H club member. I learned to uh, fix a chicken, as Randy would say. A girlfriend and I did 21 chickens, and just I've forgotten how many. I don't know how many minutes it was, but we won the prize for doing the most of them. So we'd cut the chickens up. They would kill them for us, and then we would have to do the rest. Take their clothes off, take their feathers off, and just cut them up then. And we learned to cut. They told us to make as many pieces of chicken out of each chicken that we could. So we learned to make 8 pieces of chicken out of one chicken. Eat or cook or whatever, they just did the best they could. But we were fortunate there because they had plenty all the time, and always had nice transportation. They always had food on the table, and we always had, our pastor would always want to, every Sunday he would want to come to our house and have peaches and real whipped cream, because we had the real whipped cream. And he always said that was the best meals he ever had, was at our house. Our church was, anyhow, it was good. We had good services, but we used to go on the ferry all the time when we would go someplace across the river. That I didn't like that, especially when you go down on it with a car, you know.
Did you drive it?
I drove it a lot of times, going over to Mildred's. Yeah, Mildred lived across the river from us there, Mildred and Sewell. And Ms. Walker and I, one day, we decided we was going to go over to see Mildred and Sewell. And it had been raining then, but it wasn't real bad. And Mama Walker, somebody told her, said, you won't be able to get up that bank over there at that river. You know she can't get up there. Mama Walker said, you just wait and see. Christine can do it. So I went up that little road just as fast and as good as anybody could. And I got up to the top, and Mama Walker opened the car door, and she hollered back down to him. She said, you see, I told you Christine could do it. Came down that one time, and I had a blind date with him. It was at Steele, Alabama, and that was December 26th. We were married on Christmas Day. I know. In 1940. It was 1940.
When did you come to Michigan?
We came right straight to Michigan. We got married. We left Pastor Welburn's house and came right straight to Michigan. Right after that, Bill got drafted, and we had to sell our trailer, and we sold our car, and that was when he went to Rockford, Illinois.
What kind of trailer was it?
It was. I don't know if it was a Streamline or what it was. I can't remember the name of it. But it was a gray leatherette-like looking, and I still think that was it at Greenfield Village. It's just like it. When he went into the Army, I went down south. I went and stayed with Irene and Willard. Let's see, he was on his way home. He called and said he was on his way home. I was so excited that he was coming home. But they came back on the Queen Mary. But he worked in the 104th General Hospital in Bournemouth for 14 months. And when they came back, he said they were, they came back on the Queen Mary. And they said there were 15,000 men on that boat at that time. Like my church, I like to go to my church, and I've been going there ever since I was 40-something years old, 43 years old. I've been going there, and Hey, that's a long time. Now it's 100. I'll be 100. Good gracious.
What did you have to do with the starting of Bethany?
At Bethany?
The starting of the church?
Oh, well, I was right there. The first shovel went in the ground when that church was built, and I stayed right with it the whole time.
What church, Mama Kay?
Bethany Baptist Church, and it grows back in 12 miles. Grows back in a 15-mile road, and I helped do a lot of things there. First I worked in the office for a little while and helped count the money. That was fun. And then after that, though, I helped with all the banquets and the luncheons and everything there. And I helped cook meals for all the men that worked on the church. There's building the church. Our own men from our church did it.
Down south, and you would go up north with your friends. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh yeah, we would go. Yeah, sometime during the year we'd go up to Cadillac. Vivian and Carl had a big trailer out there, and they had quite a bit of property. They even had a blackberry patch out there, a huge blackberry patch on their property. And we'd all go out there and pick blackberries. When we go up there, there'd be about 10 couples of us. A lot of them had their own trailers, and they'd bring them up, and we'd stay with Vivian and Carl. And then we'd all get us a little bucket and go out there and pick blackberries, and we'd make pies, and Vivian would make them in her trailer. Yeah, that was fun too. There was there must have been 30 or more people of all of us, Some of them would stay overnight, and some of them would just come for the day and leave, but it was part of our gang. And we'd go to Florida lots of times. We went there several times to Florida, to Daytona Beach. Me and Irene would always meet these people. We had a good time. We had a good life back then. It was fun. Some of the times were not so hotsy-totsy, but anyway, we had a good time. And Bill and I, we always had a good time. The kids were good. We had some mighty good kids, like for instance Andy and Debbie, and now we got all our good little sweet little grandkids and great grandkids, and I love them, every one, to pieces. And I'm so glad I have them, I'm glad I have them, so I have somebody to come and visit me, and I can see them every once in a while. It's fun. Often. I like to see them often, though.